But regardless, it's not the type of pro debut opponent you see.
No.
Is scheduled for 4 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner to my left. Wearing red trunks with white trim. He's a battle-tested veteran who comes to us from Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, Julio Buitrago. And his opponent, standing directly across the ring, fighting out of the red corner to my right. Wearing black trunks, coming to us from Reading, Massachusetts. Tonight, he makes his professional debut. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Delgado! 4 rounds, welterweights.
So Delgado was the last year's 147 Southern New England Golden Gloves champion, Marciano tournament champion, 147, I think, New England's champion. And he's got a win over Austin Keller in the amateurs, who's a 2-2 professional. So
yes,
I can see why Aaron might not have hesitated to put him in with a guy with vast more professional experience.
I think he's had around 10 amateur bouts, and he won most of them.
Yeah.
And but yeah, kind of mentioned about Buitrago, Chris. Buitrago usually fights guys with some experience at least, so doesn't fight a lot of pro debut guys.
He literally just made Delgado miss the first 1-2 of the fight.
I'll say the crafty veteran.
I do think Julio is done with training. I think his training is appearing in fights. That's from a physique standpoint. I don't quite think he hits the gym, but he fights so often that for him, that's his training. I mean, you talk about veteran tactics. He just landed a sneaky little jab.
I think it's fair to say he took this fresh off the couch, Chris.
Yeah.
Delgado, though.
Large couch.
He's got a large couch. But Delgado's got that nice height advantage. You look to see maybe Gary goes, tries to use the jab there a little, and then follow it up with the right hand. He's got to try and use his size here.
Too. And Delgado looks relatively calm in there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it looks calm, but if I was Delgado's trainer.
We just saw 2 debuts, and you couldn't see polar opposites as far as.
Exactly, and he's more on the side, I think, the Alexis Bolduc side, where he feels like he belongs in this ring. And I think in his heart he knows he needs to show Buitrago I'm the real deal.
Right. Yeah. Not a fan of Delgado starting his professional career with his lead hand on his thigh, though. I mean, granted, it's a style, but geez, there's going to be fighters that are going to jump all over that.
Chris J puts the hands up when he fights, ladies and gentlemen.
All the way up and over and around. And
he's finding his range with that jab. It's finding a home.
A lot of ducking and dodging here from Buitrago.
Yeah.
Clearly
a man who is not worried about being in the ring.
No. I think this is nothing new to him.
Yeah. And one thing you have to understand with these type of guys, if they can go the distance, it loses the risk of suspension, and therefore there's another payday in the near future.
Yeah, he would love to go 4 rounds here if possible.
He may not be looking to win, but he's probably looking to keep it a game fight and be there till the final bell.
Yeah, a guy like this where he's journeyman is overused a lot, but it definitely applies in this case for Mr. Buitrago. I mean, last fight was in Iowa, fight before that Georgia. He's all over the place. And, as you said, doesn't want to get a 30-day or even worse, an indefinite suspension.
He's really missing out not coming out to Johnny Cash's I've Been Everywhere.
It truly has. Yeah. I think, I think there's one guy with the offense right now. That is Jonathan Delgado, who's definitely 30 seconds away from banking this first round. Yeah, I think Buitrago's biggest enemy here is going to be fitness.
Yeah. But, I mean, what's weird, Gray, at a certain point when you've done that many rounds,
you just know how to hang around.
Yeah, Sure. I mean, 4 rounds is kind of a walk in the park. You potentially could see Delgado more tired just because it's his first time, so everything that comes with that.
A little shot at the bell. I think that was the first time we saw him buckle there right at the bell. But that is a clear 10-9 for Delgado.
He looked calm. He didn't rush. Worked behind the jab. Not a whole lot of firepower coming back at him.
Not a lot of live rounds at all. So we have 3 more fights, of course. After this, we're going to have Brandon Higgins, a very popular local fighter, looking to get himself back on track after a very controversial loss to Kenny Larson. We're going to see the 6'6" Ukrainian heavyweight Andre Novitsky, and then to end the night, we're going to have another pro debut. I mean, we don't know how that's going to go. With all
night
these,
of the debuts,
a lot of
yeah.
the debuts. But Jared Degani, just coming from MMA and kickboxing.
We'd like to welcome all our bare knuckle fans from around the world tuning in to see Bobo O'Bannon.
And if you're, we'll talk a little later about Bobo, but if you're here to watch Bobo, Bobo will be in 2 more fights. As we go now to the second of 4 rounds.
I think this really becomes a battle of, does Delgado, is he comfortable to just go the distance, or would he like to get that stoppage?
Yeah.
You know.
This is gonna sound strange. I see a little Tony Andriazzi and Delgado. I bet they. I'm not. You know. I'm sure they spar.
Oh,
absolutely.
I
can see some
I'm sure they
similarities.
spar too.
Yeah.
Whoa! A little show buddy upcut there.
Yeah, I think he's seeing they test him there a little bit.
Yeah, he's definitely comfortable in there. I don't think he's worried about any opposition right now from Julio.
He's not getting much of the body shot.
Nice body shot.
Sneaky little body shot.
And it's a soft surface.
Yeah.
Let's see if he takes the count or if he's going to continue, but it doesn't look too thrilled to get hit to the body. And that is it. The 10 count. Delgado, second round knockout. Hey, doing it against a guy with that much experience.
That's
Not bad.
Nice way to start your professional career.
You got to love it. TKO 2 for Jonathan Delgado. Look at the replay here. Hands all the way down from Buitrago, then they go back up. Slips it, the body shot right up.
It takes a second to feel it, and then that was it.
Very nicely done.
Sneaky, long. He's a very lanky fighter, obviously, so those body shots come in really long, almost to the point where you can't see it, if that makes sense.
And let's be honest, guys, there's a lot of pros everywhere that go 5, 6, 7 fights before they even fight a guy with a win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
or let alone somebody
a guy
with 50 fights.
With 50 fights and 13 professional wins?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you got to be happy. He's got to be happy.
You know BoxRec well. You got to find some of these guys that are really highly touted around here. And by the time you get to 13 wins by their opponents,
I
agree.
Hey,
you're on the 3rd page.
I agree. I have to say, for a lot of guys will just turn down a fight like this just on experience alone.
Right.
But I'll give Delgado credit, man. No fear at all, and he puts up a great performance.
Yep.
He gets him with that body shot,
and his crowd is pumped.
He brought a lot of fans here tonight. They're loving it.
2-0 for Bernardo's boxing tonight.
2-0 for the Bernardo boxing gym.
Yep.
They got to be happy.
The end comes at 47 seconds of round number 2. Your winner via KO from a perfectly placed body shot. In his debut, Jonathan